Got a 2015 Dodge Charger. I'm going to be installing the subwoofer. So I'm coming to the back over here. Get underneath there instead of go from the trunk because I can't get out earlier. And then I snap these, that, and one right there and one right there. And then I'll be able to see the wire right there. You can see gray, green, gray, and a green tan. Green tan is positive, green gray is negative. I'm going to use an A&L right there. It's a Metra, made by Metra. It's Raptor. It's called A&L fuse holder. Or A&L, that's the model number. It's a bigger fuse holder, not a really tiny one that you can melt it. A lot of them be melted, but this one is pretty good. I will be using a 100 amp A&L fuse holder. There you can use 4 gauge and odd gauge, 0 gauge. If you do 4 gauge, you don't have to remove this ring in there. If you do an 4 gauge, you leave it like that. Once you got the fuse in, you slide it in there like so. And then you work with this, tighten it back. You will wanna, I got a spool of wire right there. I'm gonna start putting the wire through this. And then slide that in there. And I'm gonna leave it like this, right there. So that way if they need to change the fuse, they can change anytime. All right, now we'll tuck the wire down here and go straight to the amp out there. So I'm not gonna put anything up yet. I wanna make sure I got the amp, everything hooked up. And then I'm gonna go start from the back. Right here, find out where I'm gonna put the amp at. I'm gonna put the amp about right there. Move and run the speaker like so. And then run the wire out there. That's from the speaker. I'll use a 1/2 inch soft type of screw. I use 2 of them, just like that, and run it to the amp. Your ground should be no more than 2 feet, so you try your best to get your ground as short as possible. So I'm gonna put the ground right there, and then the power right here, and then this I'm gonna hook it up to the line out converter that comes from that speaker right there. After cutting the excessive wire, so I'm gonna use a Kiss Lock 2. It's made by Kickers. I got the white and with the black stripe, gray with the black stripe. I'm gonna hook it up to the ground right there, and then the white and the gray hook it up to the positive side, not the ground, I said the negative, and then the red to the positive side, which is white and gray. I got the blue, which is ground, and then a black and remote from the Kiss Lock 2 right there, and then remote I'm gonna put in by itself right there to the remote. I try to do my best not to have any of this copper or aluminum sticking out over here. So now I'm just gonna run the RCA jack out here. I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna zip tie it, and I'm gonna run it to the input of the RCA jack right here. I got the positive to the positive, negative to negative. I got the wire loop around like this. I'm just gonna cut in half because the speakers are gonna be back right there. I make sure it's long enough. The battery, I'm gonna take a 10mm and a combination wrench and just remove that, and then stick this in there. The spot you want to do is click on audio, go to speed adjust, volume, turn it to off position, and then back. Then the loudness, you got it on, balance and fade, everything's good. And equalizer, give it less bass and let it treble a little bit higher. That's it.